Alright fellas, what is up? Welcome back, thank you for tuning in, it is always greatly appreciated. And I am back with a Titanfall 2 discussion. Now I love doing videos like these fellas, these are my favourite types of videos to do, these kind of off the collar, off the cuff discussions about things that are weighing heavy on my mind. That is what I want to talk to you guys about today, and the thing that is Titanfall 2. There's something weighing very heavy on my mind about Titanfall 2, so let's get straight into it. But before I get straight into it, I just want to say that I enjoyed the Titanfall 2 first alpha. Now we get some more content this weekend upcoming, so that's going to be pretty cool as well. We get to experience some new maps, some new kind of customization options. That will be very cool. Some new weapons and some new pilot abilities as well, so I am looking forward to that. Now I do enjoy Titanfall 2. I think it is a great game from what I've played at the moment, and it is just the alpha, so I think it is a great game. But fellas, the thing that is weighing heavy on my mind is it is nowhere near, in my personal opinion, I will say that, as good as Titanfall 1. Now I ain't gonna just say that and then kind of bash Titanfall 2, because I'm not. I enjoy Titanfall 2, but it is nowhere near as fluid, as fun and as smooth as Titanfall 1 in my opinion. So let's get straight into it fellas. I want to give you guys reasons and examples as to why the hell I'm saying that. Well, back in early 2014 March, when Titanfall 1 came out, I thought the game was freaking amazing. Like, people say it died, but it sold over 10 million, so you can hardly call that dying. It was a great game. It was so smooth, it was so different. There's always something to shoot, right? Because every game mode you played, whether it be attrition or hardpoint, there was always something to shoot, whether it be bots, whether it be titans, and obviously enemy players. There was always something to shoot to get your XP up, to get your score up. And there's obviously bots in Titanfall 2, but they've made them less prominent. But I do have to say that we don't have the normal attrition game mode yet. And if you guys don't know what attrition is, that's pretty much pilot vs pilot, but there's also bots as well. We kind of just have standard pilot vs pilot, which is 8 vs 8 in the Titanfall 2 alpha. So I cannot wait for attrition. So there's always something to shoot, right? There was always something to shoot in Titanfall 1. But it kind of seems that they don't really have that sort of same feel. They kind of thought that they might have needed to take the bots out. Now I love the bots because there's always something to shoot, and obviously there's the normal enemy players and the titans in there as well. Now speaking of titans, it takes about 20 minutes to get a freaking titan in this. What the hell's up with that? It takes so long to spawn in and get a titan, and when you do get a titan, they are weak as shit, and they explode and get destroyed so freaking easily compared to how they were in Titanfall 1. Now I don't know if this was a balancing thing, or who knows what the hell they were thinking, but also in Titanfall 1, probably the coolest thing in the game was how you could jump on the back of an enemy titan and tear out their core and just start blasting it. Well, you can't do that in Titanfall 2. You can jump on the back of an enemy titan, and then you take out some stupid power cell thing, and then you have to sprint off. Like, what the hell's up with that? I want to freaking jump on the back of a titan and start shooting the shit out of it. Like, I thought that was the coolest thing you could possibly do in Titanfall 1, as I'm starting to raise my voice and go on a bit of a rant. Well, I thought that was the coolest shit out there in Titanfall 1. That was my favourite thing about it. How there's like this whole war zone in each map, each game. It felt like a war zone. Like, you'd spawn in, there were titans, there were grunts, there were enemy players jumping around everywhere, there was grunts freaking strangling each other on the battlefield. Like, there was all this crazy shit going on, right? And I just don't get that feeling in Titanfall 2. It feels to me, fellas, that Respawn have made it more closer to Call of Duty than anything else. And now Titanfall 2 kind of feels like just another game that's like Call of Duty. Titanfall 1 you couldn't compare to COD, even though the people that made Titanfall, they made COD 4 and MW2, but it had its own individual feel. It felt unique, it felt different, but Titanfall 2 feels a lot to me like Advanced Warfare. Now, obviously, if you guys have been around my channel for a while, you know that I freaking hate COD. I think it's the most bullshit, boring, same shit every year game. But Titanfall 2 kind of just feels like COD now. It obviously plays differently, but obviously in Call of Duty now, there's there's freaking kids on buildings, there's kids running around on walls, sniping and shit, camping, and there's a lot of that going on in Titanfall 2. Now I want to give you guys a reason as to why I think this, and I think I mentioned this before, but Respawn have made Titanfall 2 feel just like COD, and I don't like that, fellas. I like Titanfall 1 because there was so much crazy shit going on with the titans. You could tear out their batteries and start blasting the hell out of them, like, yeah, fucking kill a titan. That shit was cool as. There was grunts strangling each other on the battlefield. There's always crazy shit going on. Pilots freaking wall running around everywhere. It was insane, and I loved it. But Titanfall 2, it's more casual. They've made it more like COD because it's on PlayStation now, so they have to make it appeal to as wider audience as possible. So they have to make it more casual, more easy to appeal to a wider audience. Now, I know quite a lot of people that they didn't like Titanfall 1, but they liked this Titanfall 2. Now, the reason why that is probably because they're quite casual gamers. They don't really like the more harder, more skill-based games, right? I mean, that's not going towards everyone. They're just kind of on a like a wide average scale. Like, they had to make Titanfall 2 appeal to a wider audience because it's now on Xbox One, PC and PS4 instead of just Xbox and PC. It's on everything now, right? It's a multiplayer game. Obviously not Nintendo, but who gives a shit about Nintendo? They're not doing anything anyway. So now it's like this big multiplayer game, so they have to make it appeal to as wide an audience as possible, and in making the game more like COD, that is obviously the best way to do that. So I don't like that it's so much like COD. It feels like just another COD clone, and I personally think, fellas, that Titanfall 2 is going to get absolutely squished by COD Infinite Warfare, or I suppose I should say COD 4 Remaster, and Battlefield 1. It comes out right in the middle of those two games, and I think it's going to get squished like a sandwich. If Respawn end up watching this vid, which I highly doubt it, I recommend pushing Titanfall to early 2017, just like Titanfall 1, and it turned out to be a success. Push it to early 2017, because games coming out these days are actually, actually, oh my god, I can't even say that word, actually selling better when they come out earlier in the year. Like, just look at Dying Light. That game came out early February and it did so freaking well because it was the only game coming out at that time. So I reckon they should push Titanfall 2 to early 2017, just like Titanfall 1 came out earlier in the year as well. I think that is what they should do, because I think it's just going to get squished by bigger games that are obviously more popular. But fellas, as always, thank you for watching. That's kind of my, not rant, I just want to give you guys my honest opinion. And I love doing videos like these, right? I don't like doing scripted news videos. I like doing the more kind of off the cuff discussions, talking about shit that that's weighing heavy on my mind. So as always, guys, thank you for watching. Be sure to comment down below on if you guys agree with me. If you don't, be sure to comment down below. I'd like to see what you guys are thinking. But as always, have a great day, have a great week. Be sure to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. Stay safe, stay tuned, and I will see you fellas on the next one. Yeah. Woo! Yeah.